This is what would be represented on a line chart. It shows that here on the 11th, the price was $3. On the 21st, price was $1, and on the 30th, not 31st, price was $2. That's what a line chart would show. There are various others, like quite a lot of them, because all you just have to do is find a way to represent the data and then just push that out. That's it. So you have, as I said, candlestick charts, line charts. You have bar charts as well. Bar charts are one of the very first kinds of charts to be used, especially by stocks and indices traders back then. Guys like Jesse Livermore, um, Warren Buffett, that's what they used to trade all the way back then, bar charts. Candlestick charts they are pretty new because they were introduced by the Japanese. They had to find a way to measure um, movement of goods. And actually, the good in question, like the commodity that they were using candlestick charts to measure, was rice. That's where it started out from. They needed a way to measure how much rice was in the storehouses, how much was given out, the difference between this and that, and all that. So that's how basically candlestick charts came into existence, I think. Am I too sure? No, not really. But that's what I expect to see online. So candlestick charts. That's what we'll be working with majorly. You could trade line charts if you want to. Um my name is so and I'm a trader with expert options. That chart that they used to show there, that you just be going churn. Yeah, that's a line chart. On the Bitsy platform, whenever we took actual classes back then, you'd see how things look like this, week here, and this one, boom, 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 another one. And then because Bitcoin will always keep on buying, it just keeps on. First class we had, the the psychology behind the trade was Bitcoin will just keep on buying, so we bought and bought and bought. Yeah. Um just to know, take the actual trading challenge seriously, because if you did, that's fine. I'll show you my own trading results from the Bitcoin will buy every single time. And remember, we do manage risk. So the about $10,000 accounts made $5 million worth of profits. Woohoo! Really funny. But yeah, those that chart we had there was a candlestick chart, and we'll get to that now because I can't draw candlesticks here and it will look fine, not in this slide. But before we do that, let's look at what a candlestick is and what's the anatomy behind it. So a candlestick, like the normal candles, let's say this is a candle. Yes, nobody can fault me with that. It's a candle. Then you light fire up here and then boom, it's on fire. But no, there's no fire on the candlesticks that we have on charts. So what we have here, you already know, is the wick. It's the wick. This is the body. Everyone knows that, right? So on a candlestick chart, don't be surprised to see wicks up and down. Don't worry, it likes burning on either end. That's why. But wicks aren't formed because they need to be burnt. A wick shows how far price moved and then disappeared back. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say, for example, price was trading at $15, and then the lowest it got to was $3. But in between, we know that we would have seen price movement in any direction. So the highest point was $15, the lowest point was $3. Now, how would that be represented on a chart? If the candle got to the highest point of $15 and it closed there, and then it's the lowest point where it started out from was $3. this is what the candle like. You don't have any wicks. And why is that? Excuse me, please. Yeah, why is that? Candles have this naming psychology. It's something really, really, really to note about candles. It's this. It's called the OHLC. This is how the anatomy of candlesticks comes into being. You see, OHLC is not a crypto term that means this one, that one, that one. When it happens, no, 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 no. It's really simple. It means open, high, low, and close. And what do those things mean? The open of a candle is where it began, is the point at which it started out from. That means if the candle, let's say the price of rice is 15 naira in the market, and that's the very first price that anybody can get it at. If the price of rice now goes to like 200 naira per cup, no problem. But it started out at 15 naira per cup. So 15 naira is the base. That is the open of the candle. Now, let's say the high is now 200 naira. Somewhere right up here, somewhere at the very top, let's say in blue now, the highest point that price got to, the price of rice was 200 naira. That's where stick would close. That's where the high of the candle will be rather. Remember, the green is the open, where it started from. The top is the high, 200 naira. You get that? Now, what happens in between? Because it's not as if price will just go from 15 to 200 all at once. It could have been increasing gradually. Let's say from 15 naira, inflation started, it now got to 100 naira, 120 naira, 150 naira, 175. It now got to 200. Just like we were saying, naira against dollar. Naira is useless. Don't quote me, I beg, but quote me. Yeah, so we have the highest points I got to 200 naira per cup. We have the lowest point it got to 15 naira per cup. Now, all that happened in between doesn't matter in the end. And why is that? Candlesticks are created based on time frames. So now let me get to an actual chart so that it would make more sense. Give me a second, please. Let me open this up. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows TradingView, right? TradingView is one of the best charting platforms out there. Not charting like WhatsApp, no, charting like CHARTING, charting platforms, because it offers quite a lot of features and it is embedded in the Bitsy trading platform. So to show just how good it is. So let me open that up and share my screen.
Okay.
So screen, yeah. 1 second, please. Okay, so let's see Chrome. Let's go to so I'm going to assume that everyone can see my screen now. Let's get to it. Visual only mode, okay. Give me a second, please. Let me fix this up. It ought to pop up what's needed. But let me just log into the Bitsy platform. Bitsy.com. Yeah, don't forget, if you haven't registered on the Bitsy platform, this is the link to use, bitsy.com/Anu. you get some rebates on trading fees, I think. Just register with it. It's good for your health. It's good for mine as well. So log in. Oh, 1 second, please. This. Okay. Mr. Jerry, could I just do this on my laptop? Let me just share my screen on my laptop. It's getting really annoying with this here. Just give me a second, please. I'll join up here and it'll be a lot easier.
Okay, so while we wait for him to come back, have you guys been following so far?
Yes.
Any confusion? Hello? All right.
No confusion. We've been following.
Okay. So how should I distribute the $1,000?
Is it 100? I thought it was 100.
Yeah, the 100 is separate. There's another $1,000.
Ilé náà la máa wà most of the time. Ẹ̀ka kan mo máa ń lọ sí town.
Ah,
Amen.
Tommy gbọ́ Yorùbá o. Tommy gbọ́ Yorùbá o.
So while we're waiting for Anu, so here's another thing that's coming up. So Beats is planning to give away iPhone 12.
Mad.
Eh?
About
Okay,
I think but yeah, I think about at least
Come
15.
again, sorry.
Bitsy wants to give out iPhone 12.
I can't hear you.
12
Okay.
in I think next month. This is not secret, so make nobody go to talk. It's next month.
Boss, I doubt we go do it, so we feel like on 12.
What is the requirement?
Hey, now they
What
calm
is the
down.
requirement for the iPhone?
Why we go calm down?
Okay, I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I'm out again.
No, don't leave us, boss. Okay, so
Guy, they won't give iPhone 12. Come join this class now. I go send out.
Not do, bro.
can everyone see my screen, please?
It's big.
But can you see it?
I mean, it's tiny.
Okay,
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I can see it.
Thank you. Yes. So now this is the candlestick charts. I'll just go to it. Yes. So this is a blank. Now, remember we're talking about candles having bodies, then wicks that you can light fire on. Okay, so now you see something like that over here, Abi. You see that in everything. But you notice that these wicks are not always the same, neither are the bodies. So what does that mean? Remember we're talking about the price of rice being at 15 naira at 200 naira, and then everything happening in between. So what happens here is that we had the price at which price opened up. This was, let's say, $3. So the price of rice for 1 cup was $3. God forbid, I beg. I do not want to be buying 1,200 naira for 1 cup of rice.
He
But
goes to happen now.
now, let's say the high is $20. So before rice got from $3 to $20, let's say it took some time. But in between, it was at 5, it was at 7, it was at 10, it was at 32. But last, the price that everyone now knows that rice is at is $15, $20 rather. So price opened up here at $3 and it closed at $20. That $3 is the open. This $20 that it's at currently is the close. Now, these are just two of the aspects. Remember, I said it's so open, high, low, and close. Now, we've seen what the open is, where it began. We see what the close is, the very last part of it, where everything ended. Now, what is the high and what is the low? Let me use a different illustration now. So let's say rice. Oh no, this time let's use beans. Beans began trading at $5. But because everybody had beans, maybe everybody now started having their own farms and they were growing beans on their own, there was no demand for beans. Meaning that for people to now be able to sell the beans, they needed to reduce the price. Because if you can plant your beans for, let's say you buy fertilizer, you get the soil ready and everything, and then you're able to do all that, and let's say the total cost is like $4 for you, and they're selling the market for $5, why would you go and pay one extra dollar? You tell yourself, I'm not stupid, so I will save the extra money, Abi. No problem. So to do that now, when there is excess supply but little demand, we now see that price would reduce to accommodate for the excessive supply. So let's say it now dropped from $5. The open price is $5. It now dropped from $5 to, let's say, about $3 in just that night or in 2 weeks. So price it opened at $5. Everybody knew that they started selling beans at $5, but it now dropped to $3. But afterwards, maybe everybody else's farms, the what they call it, the village people now actually went into the village to go and provide the needed charms and everything to make sure that any farm that is not a farmer's farm will not produce beans. So demand now increased, and then price of beans now shot up too. So let's say about $30. So this here is $30. So the price of beans has increased all the way up to $30. But now people are saying that $30 is still too high. How far now? And then the market becomes oversaturated. There is enough supply, enough demand, but now people don't want to buy that high, meaning that the demand for it is there, the supply is there, but because it's too high, there will now be a reduced demand at that price, meaning that they don't want to buy it too expensive. So now, because of that, price now drops to, let's say, $20. So now, this one is a little more complicated, Abi, because there are different price points. But what does this mean? Let's look at that. Remember for the rice example over here, it was price opened at $3, closed at 20, Abi. Now for this one, price opened at $5 down here, down to $3. It shot up to $20, to $30 rather. But instead of remaining at 30, it did not stay at 30. It now went down all the way to 20. So how would this be illustrated on a chart? This would mean that the highest point it got to was $30. The lowest point it got to was $3. Then where it eventually closed at was 20. Where it opened at was 5. Do you get the drift now? So we see the open. The open is $5. What is the lowest point it got to? The low, $3. What's the highest point it got to? The highest point it got to was $30. That is the high over here. And then where it eventually closed at was $20. So how would a candlestick chart represent this? It would look something like this. You see this? What would this highest point be? $30. What would this lowest point be? $3. What is this open? The open, yes. Where we actually began trading from, $5. And where did it close at the end? $20. So I hope you guys get it. Do you get it? Do you understand now the psychology behind a price, a candlestick rather? This is what happened in between. For the rice example, for this one over here, is it that there is no open, high, low, and close? Why is the only two things that it has? No. For this, the open was $3, as we said. But that was also got to, meaning that the open price is the low. The open and the low are the same price. For up here, the highest price we got to was $20, and that was the close. So the high and the close are the same amount. So it has all the same 4, and it's not like one is missing. So let's actually see that on charts now. This is a chart on the daily time frame. You see over here, D. What you have up here, 15M, 30M, 1H, 4H, and weekly. These are all called time frames. They're called time frames. Now, this shows what a time frame is the representation of all that price did within a specified period. Let me type that. Representation of price movement in the specified time. Sorry, I can't spell. Yeah. So the time frame we're on here, as you see, is the daily time frame, meaning that it would show price movements in how much time? In one day. Let me zoom this in a little more. Let's see here. Okay. So here, look at this candlestick, this one over here. What is the date at which it's at? This is the 13th, right? Then look at this one, the next one we have a reference to. What's the date it's at? 15th. So if you now want to do mathematician, you see 13 plus 15 divided by 2. Get the average, that's 14, agree? So that's where this should be. So we see that every candlestick is shown on one single day. But what happens when you change the time frame? Does the candlestick change? Now this is where some people get confused. Let me just break it down so it will be a lot easier to understand. Let me highlight this candlestick now. Remember, the candlestick on a time frame shows the price movements within that specified time. So let's say this candle, the one on the 15th, this one that we want to investigate. So you see this, it's circled, right? And this is what time frame? The daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, this is what the candle looks like. And let's see, what is the, okay, let's illustrate. I have to address that again, but no issues. Yeah, so what do we see here? You see this wick, right? This wick down, that is what? That's the low, remember? The lowest price, that the lowest point that price got to, that's the low. Then what do we have here? This place where the red begins from, that is called the open. That's where price began trading from. Okay, no. This is a red candlestick, meaning that price sold. So, okay, let's do a little something first. Let's do this. So, price started from $3, moved up all the way to $15, and then it closed there. This is the candlestick. There's no extra, no wicks. So this is just the region that price was contained in. Now, this, if we're saying this is the daily time frame, that will mean that on one day, for one day, this is what happened. This is what price did, all this. So now, on the next day, now this is where I need you to follow me on the train of thought. On the next day that begins, remember that price opened here and it's closed here. So that means that we had price open down here, it's closed up here for today. Let's say today is the 16th. Now, when price opens up tomorrow on the 17th, where should it open from? Will it come all the way down to $3 again and then go all the way to $15 and then we'll now be like, okay, so price has done the exact same thing all over again? No, price won't do that. Or rather, the candlestick would not show that. Close of one candle. Let me type that out. The close of one candle is the open of another. So, if this candle closed up here, that will mean that that is the price that the next candle will open at. Meaning that when the next candle comes into play, this is what the open would be, or rather, this is where the open would be. Over here. And then, let's say price goes up a little more because, okay, we're looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin always price. I beg. No use that kind of psychology enter market too. Hey, money go loss. So, let's say price only keeps on going up, which is unlikely. So now, what do we note? The close of this candle here, of this first one, is now the open of this candle, and that's how you can have a difference in price that you see on the charts. Because if it began at the low of this one all over again, and all it did was push up to the exact same price point, everybody will just wait for the next day to open and then buy down here, sell up here. And that's how we'll continue making money for the rest of our lives. Whoosh, whoosh, early retirement. But no, that's not how it is. So I'm pretty sure you get it now. Now let me go back and correct the slight error that I was about to put us into. Over here. So let's use this. This is a lot easier to see. This candle over here. This one. So look at this one over here, this red candle, the one before it. Remember, of a candle becomes the open of the next one. So where did this green candle open? Down here, agree? Then we see that it has a small wick, meaning that it pushed down a little more before it now went all the way up. So that means that this is the open of the green candle. But it also means that this is the close. This exact same point is the close of this candle. You get that? So what is it like for a a sell candle. Let me illustrate that quickly. So most sell candles are shown as red by default on most brokers, exchanges, whatever you want to call them. So for a buy candle, we'll do both the sell and the buy, so it won't be confusing in any way. Now let's do for our brother in green as well. Yes, so now let's label this one after another. This here is the highest price, Abi, and this here is the lowest price. That does not change. But remember, market is going down if it's a red candle, or rather if that's the setting of your red candles. Market is going down, meaning that it did not start from down here. No, if it's going down, that means it started from above. So the open of the candle would be where? Up here.
Up. Yes.
And then the close of the candle would be where? Down here. Abby,
Down there.
I'm pretty sure you're following, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So now, what is the highest point that price got to? This one over here. This wick up here. Lowest price, the lowest point that price got to. This wick over here. That does not change. So now, let's label the buy candle now. Remember, for a buy candle, is it going down or is it going up? It's going up, Abi. It's increasing in value. So, price is going all the way up. Where is the open of this candle? Down here. Where is the close of the candle? Where does this candle close? Over here. Where's the highest point that it got to? This. Where's the lowest point that price got to? Over here. So I hope that's clear now. If you get that, you could just send a message in the chat box. Just say it's clear. Then we continue. Yeah, is it clear? Can everyone, did everyone get that? Okay, I'll assume that everyone got that. So let's go on. If you didn't get it, let me just go very real quick. So let's see. Okay, it's not really clear. IA. Okay. Don't worry, this is for your benefit. Bitsy loves you all. That's why we have this, so we can go over it once again. So let's not call it. Okay. Please, Promise Wilson, could you mute yourself? There's a lot of noise where you are now. Could you mute your mic and sounds better. So now this time I would not color the candles. So I want us to be able to give the color as is seen. So let's see. Green means buy. Red means sell. So IA, that's the name that appears on the chat box. Could you unmute yourself, and then I'd like you to answer this because you said it wasn't clear. Could you unmute yourself, and then we'll go through this together. Okay, so I hope you can hear me. Let's do this now. So let's say price started trading from, okay, you're in a noisy place, no problem. Let's just go through this. So price began trading from up here. So this is where price opened at. So let's see, what's the corresponding price? Let's say 86. Let's say that price started off at 8,006. And then price now went, the price of Bitcoin now to, let's say 8,002. If this is the case, price started off at 86 and then it dropped all the way down to 8,002. Did the value increase or decrease? It went down a bit, it decreased. It, meaning that price started off trading pretty high. It now ended up getting really low. So the price of Bitcoin first was 8,006. And then at the end of that trading period, at the end of the time that the candlestick calculates, and this is the daily time frame. So let's say at the end of one day, the price of Bitcoin went from 8,006 all the way down to 8,002. What does that mean? That means that if you had one whole Bitcoin before, you just lost $400 worth of value. So now, as we know, red means seller B. So price reduced, the value of your Bitcoin reduced, meaning that what should now be the color of the candle? Since everything reduced, it should be a red candlestick, right?
Yes.
So the open is where? 8,006. The close, the open is also the high in this case because price didn't go above 8,006. Where it ended, where everything ended on that day, was you losing $400 worth of value on your Bitcoin. Sorry, me. But I don't have one Bitcoin, so I cannot say me and be happy. So let me just say you, because you know there are many men up here with plenty money. Sir Jerry, that $1,000, I go find that GBP, the GBP account or whatever. Yeah. So the lowest point price got was 8,002. Now, that means that we can boldly say that our candle is meant to be what color? Green, abi? Sorry, red. Why is that? Because price reduced in value. It started up from up here, 8,006, 8,006, and then now started going, doom, 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 dropping. But then while dropping, it also would have gone up because price would retrace. Price is fractal. Something to always remember, price is fractal. So, excuse me, I beg. Yeah. So price kept on going down, then now went up. Let's say it went up small. It bought. Din, 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 din. Price was going up. You're thinking, I'm not losing money anymore. My 8,006 is almost complete again. It went up and then kaboom. Before you can say Jack Robinson, let's say Square now sold off their shares in Bitcoin. Bam. Then it's as if somebody is watching your every move. Why is my Bitcoin reducing in value? What did I do wrong? Then panic. You now see it printing some green candles again. Price is going up. It's going up. My loss is almost recovered, and then kaboom, once again. Book down of now sells. So you see all this whole story of price. Let me clear what's unimportant now. Let's see. IA, I hope it's clear now. Okay, no sound. Okay. Surgery has fixed that. So you see this story that price is telling, that it was going down. Yes. My money is going, and then it started coming up. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not losing too much. And now, bam. Oh, why didn't I just close out when it was up here? Oh, why did I? See, these are the things that you would find yourself saying. You find yourself actually saying this to yourself, and you'd be like, this is why I beg. If you're not prepared to lose money, don't trade. Always trade with money you're willing to lose. Keep that in mind always. So price now keeps on going up. You're now thinking, yes, finally, finally, all this is now fixed. And then kaboom. Bogdanov caught you while you were thinking it was pumping, and then it dumped. Boom. So you see this whole story over here. This is represented by candles. And remember, now we're looking at the one day time frame. We're looking at the 1 day time frame. So on 1 day, if all this happened in hours, so let's say this didn't like 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me just make this as realistic as possible. So 8, 9, 10, and then one last dump. Poof, all the way down. So now let's say that this is the 1 hour time frame. This is what I wanted to show you back then before we had to actually get into the anatomy of candlestick. We'll do that with the actual chart now. Remember the candlestick I highlighted? Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to show you. So let's say this is the first hour. Price began trading at 8,006 on that day. 8,006, as you see here. And then it just starts dipping. Whoa. Second hour of the day. Okay, we're saying this is 2 hours per candle. So this is the first 2 hours. This is what happened. Price went from 8.6 to around, let's say, 8.5. The second 2 hour candle, which is now 4 hours. So 2 hours here. This is now at the 4th hour. That's when this candle over here, this candle would close every 2 hours. So on the first 2 hours of the day, this one was formed. As it just hits 2 o'clock, bam, this one will close wherever it is, and then the new one will now be formed. And then this one closes at the next 2 hours, which will be the 4th hour of the day, 4 o'clock. Then this will be formed and closed by 6 o'clock. This, excuse me. The next one, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 in the afternoon now, 1400 hours. This is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 1400, 1600 hours, that is 4 o'clock, 1800, 6 o'clock, 2000, that's, okay, I'm not doing 2000, thank you. That's from 12, 10, 12, and now it finally ends here. Wherever it ends, it ends. I've lost track of time. So this whole period of price movement, this was measuring using 2 hour candlesticks. So although all this happened in between, did price buy at some point? Yes. The price buy at some point? Yes. Did price go down, bang, 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 without stopping? No. Whenever price moves, whenever price makes a move, price will tend to retrace at some point. Okay, so now let's see. Everything took 2 hours to complete. But now, how would all this, remember this began, let's say, okay, please stop drawing, thank you. Yeah, let's say this began by 1200 hours at the very beginning of the day. Okay, let's make it 00. This was started off up here at 8,006. And then by the close of the day at 2400 hours, this is where we are. So note that it took 12 candlesticks on the 2 hour time frame. But now, how would this information be represented on a single daily candle? Let's now do this. Let's do it analytically. First off, we started off up here. And where did we close? We closed down here. So the confines of price the confines of price were from 8,006 to 8,001. So all this was done on a 2-hour candlestick chart. On a 1-day candlestick chart, what do we see? We would see it as just one single candle all the way from here to here. Do you see that? You see all this price movement, price going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Does it? Do you just see it by looking at it? No, it doesn't. It just looks like price dumped, boom, 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 and then, wow, I lost and made some money. Oh no, on the 1-day chart, you just see it as completely lost. So now, what's the difference? How did all this now become one single candle? The time frame. Do you all get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, beautiful. So now let's actually see that. Although my drawing is nice, I like my drawing, thank you. But actually, would prefer that we see that on an actual candlestick chart. Okay, wow. We just got on a day that had one beautiful sell-off. Now, let's see. Let's investigate a little further. What was in this candlestick? Now, let's see the date. You see down here, 12th of March. 12th of March. Now, let's move to a lower time frame. And how do I change time frames? Up here. Just choose the time frame you want to go to. So now we're on the daily time frame, but I want to go to the 4-hour time frame. And now, how many 4-hour candles do you have in one day?
6.
You have 24 hours in one day, Abi. So you should have six 4-hour candles. Beautiful. Plenty guys here know math, so so let's see. Now we're going to the 12th of March, Abi. We just use down here 12. Now you see that? Okay. So where did the 12th of March begin? Let me go adjust that and accommodate the wick from that day. Okay. Yeah, see good. No issues there. So this is it. The mega crash. Now, how many candles do we see forming that candlestick? That daily candlestick. Let's count. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The very next candle starts up a new day. You see that, right? So price is fractal. Price does not just happen once. You see, the best part of this is that you can now take every single candlestick and reduce that. So let's say we now take this one here. This one over here. The very first candle of the day. Here on the 4-hour chart, that is 4 hours, right? So now let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. How many 1-hour candles should we have in a 4-hour candle? 4, Abi.
Yeah.
So we go down to 1 hour. The day we're looking for is March 12th, I think. Okay, it's okay. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 candles that when they added up, give us one huge big red candle. You see that? Just give you one huge red candle, and that's what you see on the 4-hour time frame. So yeah, that's basically it for candlesticks. Yeah, so for candlesticks, that's it. You see them broken down much more as you go deeper into the lower time frames. So if we're going by that, let's say we go back to the daily time frame now. I'll pick up that candle from March 13th. Where are you? Okay, let me just go back and make that bigger to be a little hard to find here. But I do hope you get what it is that we've been talking about.
I can.
How to see. Okay, beautiful. So it should be a lot easier to see now. Yeah, we see. So this is the candle from that day. The huge crash from 7, this is like 8K, all the way down to 4.8. So now this is the 1-day candle. If we go all the way down to 1 hour, how many candles should we see in it? 1 day has 24 hours, so we should see 24 candles, right? So let's do that. Price is fractal. Price is fractal. So let's see. Now it's time to count. So this is the high of that region. This is the high. This is the low. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. The next candle begins the new day. So you see that it's a combination of what happened on this 1 hour time frame that you see continuously is what is it is what culminates the entire 1 day candlestick that ended this way, closed here. So there would always be entry points. This is one of the things that we should not forget in a hurry. The market would not jump and leave you. If you try to chase the markets, it would take you on a long trip. Oh, in a loss, I meant to say, not in profits all the time. Most times, you could end up hopping into a market that would just leave you. Let's say, for example, over here, market is so bullish. You just this huge breakout, and you're like, wow, just buy. And then you bought, boom, came all the way back down. Or if you saw it over here and it was selling off so good, it was just selling, and you sold, you'd have made profits, definitely. But can this be repeated over time? So for candlesticks, that's just it. Tonight is for candlesticks only. We dedicate tonight to candlesticks, to wax and fire. Don't mind me, I beg. So let's just do a quick recap before Mr. Jerry comes to give us the $1,000. Oh, sorry, not us, me. I'm the one receiving $1,000 tonight. Please tell him a very big thank you for me. I appreciate it. So, red. What's the difference between a red and a green candle? apart from the color, I mean, it's how price is formed, or rather the extremes of price. So both a buy and a sell candle could have wicks. But what differentiates them? It's the open and the close. So a sell candle would open up here. That would be its open. But then a buy candle would open down here. Where would be the low of a sell candle? Or rather, where's the close? The close would be down here, right? That's why it closed. And then to be the opposite for a buy candle, that's the close. Where is the highest point that I got to? Beautiful, Risiki, thank you. I see that. So this is the highest point it got to. It's the same on both of them, because the highest point is the highest point. The lowest point is the lowest point. So the low and the high are the same for both of them. High and low. So this is the anatomy of a candlestick. And from what we did at the very last point, we saw that price could actually go, if we're doing the buy type, the buy side anatomy now, it could go like this, come down, go up, come down. As long as it's still within a time frame that accommodates this entire candlestick, it could do anything at all. Remember, what is, okay, let me adjust this. What's the open? The open is down here. So price could do this. It could go this way up, then come all the way down here. Please. That's all that's needed. Then it comes all the way down here to this region, the low, and then goes up, comes down again, then goes up, creates the high, and then now comes back in and closes here for the day. So where did price begin from? This point down here. Down here. Where's the highest point that price got to? Over here. This is the high. Where did price close? It ended here. That's the close. And where's the lowest point? Down here. And there you have it. The open, high, low, and close, commonly known as OHLC. So that would be it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. Mr. Jerry is going to give me $1,000 after this, so please don't forget to tell him a very big thank you on my behalf. So have a great trading week, everyone. I do hope you gain some value from this class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
So I hope everybody understood something and grabbed something.
Yeah, sure we did. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming.
Anu, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Shegun,
No,
welcome.
I did it for the $1,000. It's no big deal at all, sir.
Okay, Shegun, are you in our group, WhatsApp group? Shegun, can you hear us? Okay. Don't worry, we have some materials from the last class. I think Anu had some materials that I will share with you. later so that you can, be can bring you up to speed. So for the palliatives, the $1,000, I'm not sure.